Hello and welcome to Let's Connect. I'm Menaka Doshi and this is the fifth show in our 8-part series focusing on the telecom revolution sweeping India. We've discussed as yet in our various shows how to go mobile, telecom solutions for small and medium-sized enterprises, mobile applications for retail consumers and enterprise and wireless connectivity. And today we discuss mobile handsets. We take you through the best gizmos available in the market, get you expert analysis on pricing, features and brands. We also ring into the second-hand market and find out what you need to safeguard against when buying someone else's old phone. But to begin with, it's a mini computer? No, it's a gaming device. Or then again, it's the mobile way to stay in touch with the news. Some say it's good for watching new movie clips. Others use it to tune into FM stations. And still others believe it's the ultimate fashion accessory. And then, of course, there are those who think it's a display of self-worth. The humble mobile phone is no longer just that. Sure, it works to make calls, but that's a given. What more can you do with your mobile phone and at what cost? Sujata Goel finds out.
Going shopping for a brand new mobile phone? Be prepared to spend anything between 3,500 to 40,000 rupees. The former will suffice if all you want is any calling device. But for the upwardly mobile, fancy ringtones or a color screen will add on a few thousand rupees. Thanks to lower duties, basic phone models are 20% cheaper than last year, prompting consumers to call in a new one every now and then.
Older phones I keep on changing as it comes in the market. As the new models come, I just sell them off in the second hand and I just get a new one. Because of the fashion exactly, when something new comes with some new features, I just like to go for the new ones, that's it. And
I use the gallery function. That is, I go on to keep changing my backdrop, my wallpaper and stuff like that. Also a lot of tones and photographs and stuff like that.
In the higher end models, prices have virtually halved. Nowadays, the extremely popular camera phone costs just 9,000 rupees. If you want a radio and HTML browsing with that, add another 2,000. And if you're the mobile computing kind, then be ready to click on a 35,000 rupee bill for a PDA phone. For gaming enthusiasts, a preloaded phone costs 3,500 and one that allows you to download games 7,000 rupees. All this sounds quite fancy, but is anyone buying? Retailers say very few.
Camera is more attractive than internet, because internet is young people is want, other people want only this camera and all.
See, in every handset you get something new, but only the main thing is part that to your work should be go on. That's all. Even you have free, the teenagers may use for our games and all that, but we guys only just to do for a business purpose only.
Very basic ones like messaging and calls and things like that. I don't use it. No GPRS and all that.
If you aren't a gizmo freak, then maybe you're brand conscious. In the past 1 year, half a dozen new Chinese and Korean brands have entered the market. And here's what the brand tally looks like. Nokia leads the market with Samsung, Motorola, Sony Ericsson and Siemens following behind. At the bottom of the heap are Bird, BenQ and Sagem. Relatively unknown, but then lower priced too.
Yeah, especially people go for Nokia phones, branded ones. Difficult to sell the new brands. But once they start using, they come to know even those phones are good.
And for those who say size doesn't matter, we say think again. Shape is important too. From big pencil box type phones, to rectangular, to square, to round, to watch phones, there's one to fit every palm and pocket. In this fast-changing world of mobile fashion, the one certainty is that most mobile users are conscious of what handset they carry. Retailers say average replacement cycles have come down from 18 to 24 months to 12 to 15 months. And for the high-end phones, the replacement cycle is down to 8 months or so. So go ahead and buy that phone, but get ready to be tempted by a jazzier or more high-tech version very soon.
Well, it's no longer a phone, it's a lot more than that. That story set the tone for the show and now for our guests. Joining me in the studio today are Sanjeev Sharma, Managing Director at Nokia. We have KK Kushwaha, Vice President LG, the CDMA division, and Arvind Narang, Chief Operating Officer at Agrani Convergence. It's a chain of retail stores. They have 40 across the country and 70 service centers. They sell you the phones. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Mr. Sharma, if I could start with you. Changing customer profile, reducing replacement cycles. Who's buying phones mostly nowadays and how much money are they willing to spend?
I would say that nowadays almost everybody is buying a phone. It's no longer a preserve of the rich. Today you have handymen like electricians and plumbers joining the chief executives.
And how much money are they willing to really spend on a phone?
The phone remains a very aspirational product, so they usually stretch as far as they can. But phone prices start around 3,000 rupees and go up to maybe 40,000. The bulk of the phones are sold in the 5,000 and below segment.
Okay.
But increasingly, we are finding that with the greater affordability of phones with color displays, cameras, Java capability, browsers, more and more people are opting for these phones now because they become quite affordable.
Okay, Mr. Kushwaha, what do people sort of want in a phone? Because most people, I would assume, want voice and SMS. But are they buying into the camera gizmos or the the ringtone gizmos or the gaming functions or the torchlight functions? Is that working?
Actually, there are a couple of segments. If we say the beginner, they're always like voice and SMS type. For them, the major requirement is the voice. The other segment is the youth and the affluent class, or those who are from the working class. For them, the middle range or the upper middle range is okay. So there's enough demand for every kind of thing. Yes, the answer is that the gizmos, what we say, the camera phones. Now, camera phones are becoming very, very popular in any category.
And people are willing to spend that 15,000 rupees for a camera phone, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Narang, what are the kind of questions that customers ask you when they come to your store to buy a phone? Do they ask you, what brand is good, or what price how much money should I pay? Or do they ask you questions like, what kind of game software do I get on this phone? Or how many ringtones can I download on this phone?
Yeah, of course, these days customers have become, quite knowledgeable, and, they understand, what is going on in the market, what features and functionalities are coming. They also know, what are the main brands available. But they want to come to the store, they want to have a, feel of the mobile phone. I mean, typically you see, this little toy now, probably you spend 16 hours a day with this little toy. While anybody probably will be spending 3 to 4 hours with the family. So this has become so important in everybody's life. So they want to come to the store, they want to understand from retail executives what features, functionalities it has, whether it can serve their business needs or personal needs. But yeah, on the other hand, what we have seen from our experience, that still the voice and SMS
is the ruling function.
Okay,
fine. We're going to discuss a lot more on what new technologies are coming into the mobile phone market, how much manufacturing companies are paying attention to the kind of functions you want in your phone. But for that, you'll have to wait for a break. We'll be back on the other side of this break with Let's Connect.
Let's Connect.
Welcome back. You're watching Let's Connect and we're discussing handsets. Mr. Sharma, you've got a pencil box kind of phone on your table. It's a PDA phone. You've also come out with the Made in India Nokia, which gives you a torchlight and is dust resistant and all of that. How much customization for India is good or is required?
Well, this is a product category where personalization is key.
Okay.
It's a fashion accessory and a personal statement. So everyone wants a phone that speaks something about him.
Okay, so what kind of customization are you talking about?
Customization could extend beyond color covers, ringing tones and wallpapers to the content that's there on the phone, the kind of games that are there on the phone. People are using all kinds of enhancements or accessories. They may make a statement, for example, with a Bluetooth headset, which shows that they're more tech savvy. And
how many people are really buying that kind of stuff? I mean, a phone because it has a torchlight, or a PDA phone, or a phone which has Bluetooth. Is it a large number of customers in the marketplace, or most people still are looking at voice and SMS?
It is still primarily a voice and SMS market.
Okay.
But I think there's an emerging breed of more savvy customers, especially in the age group of 18 to 25, who are aware of the latest trends in technology. Operators are also focusing very much on bringing relevant services and applications that actually make these features more desirable.
Okay, I'll come to the operator bit that you mentioned, Mr. Kushwaha. A lot of people complain that we've got like the highest high-tech phone or the highest-end phone possible, but not necessarily do we get the kind of connectivity that we want on the phone, whether in terms of surfing or accessing your email. Has phone technology today outpaced or outstripped the service provider technology available in the country, the infrastructure coming in from that end?
No, I don't think. Uh, there are a couple of networks where there might be some congestion as far as the data capabilities are concerned. But if we see from the consumer perspective, and if we see phone being used as a modem, the trends are showing now it is increasing day by day.
Okay. A lot more people using it for accessing the internet.
Yes.
Okay.
We have seen the reports
And
coming.
the service levels are good. Like, I mean, India's connectivity levels are as good as anywhere else in the world.
Because right now there's not lot many subscribers. So as many as subscribers are hooked onto the network, they are getting good speed.
Okay.
And if they compare with the wireline speed, it is much better.
It is much better anywhere as compared to anywhere else in the
Yes.
world. Okay, is that the experience you've had? Have you had people come to you and say, if you know all these fancy features don't work, we'd like to go back to the simple phone all over again?
See, there are two distinct cases here. One is the GSM side, the other is the CDMA side. And if you just see the the history of how these networks have evolved, GSM networks, they started with second generation networks, and of course over few years they have come to 2.5G. Most of the networks have been upgraded, but there are still which are still in the process of upgrading. CDMA on the other side has straight away started with 2.5G. So these kind of services or the bandwidth available to customer, I would say this is relatively in favor of as far as the infrastructure is concerned on the CDMA side, but on the GSM front, most of the operators have now caught up on that front. The simple reason is that when these networks were deployed, the infrastructure was not available.
If I could step in here, I'd like to say that at Nokia we launch all the models that are launched globally, are launched at the same time in India.
As they are launched elsewhere in the world.
Yes, and all the features are actually supported by Indian network operators.
Okay. So you're saying service providers are at par with service providers anywhere in the world?
At the cutting edge of technology. I would say that the only technology that's not available in India today and which has been deployed only in a few countries is the third generation technology.
Which is yet to come.
Which is yet to come to India.
Okay, that brings us to the new technologies that we can expect from, not just the manufacturer, but from, those kinds of services, whether it's GSM or CDMA. What should we look forward to? I mean, there's Edge, there's Brew, there's eDVD, if I've got that right, or eVideo, or, all of that. What does that mean? What is it going to mean for all of us who use phones?
Yeah, if I can put it in very simple terms, the evolution of network technology basically means that you get faster data speeds that allow you to do more things with your phone. For example, with Edge or CDMA 1X, you can download videos on your phone.
Okay.
As the speed increases...
Isn't that what you're supposed to be able to do on this phone too? This pencil box kind of phone?
This phone is not an edge capable phone.
Okay.
But as you move towards higher data speeds, for example, with a 3G network, you would actually be able to have video telephony, which means that you can speak to somebody and see the other person on the screen and he can see you.
Okay.
So the evolution is basically related to higher data speeds, which allow a whole lot of new multimedia applications.
Is eDVD or eVideo the same thing? What is it? eVideo?
eVideo.
Okay.
And the next generation will be eVTV.
What is it the same thing? I mean,
No.
Better data capability?
Yes, better. Actually, this will be supporting the video stream downloads, and that will be on high speed. Right now, whatever speeds we are getting, those videos are coming in the frames. You cannot see that it is coming as in continuation.
Okay, so you'll get to see.
Yeah, then as if you are really seeing a real live video.
Okay.
So that would come in eVideo.
How expensive will these phones be?
That will be quite expensive, and it will also depend.
Give me a price, an average price, 30,000, 40,000.
See, if I give you the idea about the other markets where it is already available, these kind of networks, this cost something around $450. $450? Yes.
That's quite expensive. Is there appetite in the market for these kind of phones, or is it like a 1 out of 1,000 people that wants to buy this?
No, I mean, even if we see today, this whole range or the gamuts of product and services which are available. I mean, in the mobile handset market, these would come in the category of smartphones, multimedia plus kind of category, and probably today the market size would be somewhere between 2 to 5%, and but based on the price point.
Who are the people who are buying this?
I mean,
is it young? Are they entrepreneurs,
no, I mean,
businessmen?
Young people, what we call, techno freaks or, whatever, but, they may have an inclination to, play around with these frills, but no money.
Okay.
I would say, more executives, kind of segment which is into this kind of phone.
Is willing to buy this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Okay, fine. When we come back after this break, we're going to discuss how a lot of people can access or spend rather much less money and buy a phone from the second-hand market. We'll also touch upon the grey market, which is a big problem for most of the manufacturers here. But that's after this break. See you again on Let's Connect. Welcome back. You're watching Let's Connect. We're discussing handsets. And Mr. Sharma, before I get on to second-hand and grey market, a couple of questions. Technology seems to be changing fast. A lot of customers complain saying that, I've bought a phone and in a year it's either phased out or there's a new model out there. I probably don't get parts or don't get batteries for my phone. What do people do in a situation like that? The resale value also reduces suddenly because the phone's phased out. So when you go to sell it in the second-hand market saying, okay, I want to buy a newer phone, you don't get that much money for it.
There are a couple of things I'd like to say here. The first thing is that a good brand will always have a higher resale value.
Okay.
So that's why people are more brand conscious.
Okay.
And secondly, most of the manufacturers would support their product for at least 3 or 4 years, ensuring that there are spare parts and accessories available. It is true that in the technology arena, prices do drop, models do change very rapidly.
Right.
So that's something that consumers are aware of when they buy, because if you keep postponing your decision, there'll always be a new phone coming up.
So now is always the right time to buy.
Now is always the right time, and it's there's a certain breed of consumers who always wants the latest. They want to change their phone every 3 months, and they do normally get a good resale value if it's a popular brand.
Okay, fine. Mr. Kushwaha, also incompatible technology. People complain about the fact that if you're calling from X brand phone to Y brand phone, sometimes SMSs don't get across clearly or names don't appear in the SMS. Or is there a standard basic technology that all phone manufacturers adhere to, making it easy for people to sort of change between phones or use different kinds of phones?
I think these issues are related to the network capabilities or
More
network
not the phone as
interoperability,
much, is it?
It is not related to the phones.
Okay.
Because that's SMSC, the server, which is receiving or sending or storing, it should be made capable before.
So they should
and
contact
that is
their
where-
service provider if they're having
yes,
problems.
and
of
that
this
is
kind.
where it becomes really important that every phone, when it is launched, it should be tested in the network.
Okay. Any other problems that customers have come to you, sir, quickly regarding handsets that you think we should bring up in the show before we get on to second-hand and grey market?
For some brands which are not top of the line brands, sometimes they face a problem for accessories, which is very common what we have seen.
Okay.
And
Are there a lot of buyers for the lots of the new Korean brands or Taiwanese brands or Chinese brands that have come into the market that are not necessarily very well-known brand names in India?
Yeah, in the last probably 6 to 8 months, 4 or 5 brands have come, and we have dealt probably with 3 or 4 of them. And if
What's the response?
I mean, I may get biased if I say any particular vendor's name, but yeah, the response from the Chinese, this thing has been quite encouraging as of now.
Okay, fine. I'll go on to, since we're running short of time, I'll go on to quickly second-hand market. What are the safeguards that you suggest people take care of before they go to buy a phone in the second-hand market? If you could enumerate it quickly for us.
Frankly, there aren't too many safeguards because it's a case of buyer beware. Unlike a television where you can switch it on and see for yourself what the condition of the set is,
You can't do that with the
you
phone.
can't really make out whether the battery is on its last legs,
Okay.
whether the circuitry is fine or not. And today, new phones have come down to a price level where there isn't too much of a difference between a second-hand phone and a new phone.
Okay.
So if you're going to end up spending 1,000 rupees on a new battery, I think it's safer to just buy a new phone. And if you must buy a second-hand phone, you should buy it from somebody that you know or you trust.
Okay, I come to grey market now as the last question. It's a big problem. 40% of all cell phones sold in the country are sold via the grey market. Again, there are issues where customers can be careful because a lot of people believe you buy it without a bill, you still get a warranty card. Is that true?
I think
Does
we
that
should
warranty
take it
work?
in two different segments. In GSM, yes, there is a grey market, but in CDMA, there's
Because
hardly
that's
any grey
operator
market.
bundle. Yeah, okay. So I should have
So-
actually put this question to Mr. Sharma. Warranty card. How do you make sure that what you're buying is not, sort of grey market or is, a properly sold phone?
The first thing the buyer should look at is the name of the importer on the box. It should be the authorized importer, usually the company itself or their authorized national
Okay, so
distributor.
name of importer. I've got like 5 seconds left on the show.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. And
Ensure that your warranty card is an authentic one.
that's right. And whether it covers India or not.
All right, fine. We've absolutely run out of time on this episode. We do hope you enjoyed watching this show of Let's Connect. Join us the next time where we bring you the lowdown on broadband, whether it's a reality in India or is it just fiction. If you have any questions or feedback, do mail us at connect@moneycontrol.com. Thank you, gentlemen, all of you, for joining us. And thank you very much for watching.